Okay, so today taking a look here at Golden Bat. Golden Bat is a solo fighter with a move of 3, melee, 18 health. The ability is, if you haven't taken a maneuver action this turn, add +2 to the value of Golden Bat's attacks. Super Strength is a 5 attack, 2 copies. Vaporizing Eye Beams is a 2 attack, 3 copies. After combat, your opponent discards 1 random card. A Punch to Shake the Earth is a 1 value attack, 3 copies. After combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter in your zone. If you won the combat, deal 2 damage instead. Now checking out his versatiles. He has a 4 value versatile in Skirmish. Obviously, we know this card, 2 copies. And after combat, if you won the combat, you get to move one of the fighters in combat up to 2 spaces. Terrifying Roar, 3 copies, 3 value versatile. Immediately, fighters cannot leave their space for the rest of the turn. Insight of the Ancients, 2 copies, 3 value versatile. If you won the combat, return a random card in your discard pile to your hand. Like a Flash of Golden Light, 3 copies, 2 value versatile. During combat, if Golden Bat shares no zones with the space he started in this turn, this card's value is 4 instead. After combat, move Golden Bat up to 5 spaces. Sight Beyond Sight. After combat, look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, put them back in any order, 3 copies, 2 value versatile. Now for his defenses, a flat 5 defense, he laughs at your feebleness, 2 copies, 3 boost. Imposing Presence is his cancel, 3 value defense, 2 copies, cancel effects on your opponent's card. Getting into the schemes now. Arrive just in time, 2 copies, place Golden Bat in any space. Alpine Fortress, 3 copies, 3 boost. The final scheme. Choose a card in your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. Draw 2 cards, move Golden Bat up to 4 spaces. Now Golden Bat here is a solo fighter, and it's always better to have sidekicks, right? But he is a move 3 and does have a huge health pool of 18. His ability is such that having +2 makes it very imposing. It's quite a threat. Kind of like Medusa. They're threatened to be in the zone while they're threatened to be end adjacent to Golden Bat. If you're playing against a ranged fighter, it is smart to position wisely in this regard. It's smart with fighting against other melee fighters, but it's even more so against ranged positioning to where they have to be end adjacent to you. So with that in mind, let's take a look at his attacks. Starting off here with Super Strength, it's pretty obvious. It's a 5, remembering that it can be a +2. So a potential 7, 2 copies, and you have Recursion. So if you're going for attacks, this is nice to have, and that's always a threat. If you keep one in your deck or in your hand, they know that could be coming, and they don't want to feint it. Now, both of those are gone. They can use their feints freely, and that's important for Vaporizing Eye Beams because you don't want this feinted. This lets you has your opponent discard 1 random card. Discards, always nice. And like I said, they want to feint this. So fake it out with Super Strength. Attack them with that. They can't feint this, or they can't feint Super Strength, or it doesn't need to be feinted, So they're going to take 3 damage or, more if you get your ability off, because they do want to feint this. So keep that in mind. Keep that trick in mind in what cards you played so you can keep that trick up throughout the game as you play. A Punch to Strike the Earth. This is good for multiple sidekicks because it deals a damage to each opposing fighter in your zone. So again, positioning, very important. A 1, very unassuming, not very strong, but the fact that you get to get rid of sidekicks is important. And if you won the combat, you deal 2 damage instead, which also could be nice, say against Yananga, or even dealing 2 against the hero instead. So that could be a potential 3 with your ability. Who knows? Okay, taking a look here at the versatiles next. And the strongest one in your deck is Skirmish. It's a potential 6, remember. So that's nice. It also could be used against like a sidekick to position against the hero. So you attack first action with the enemy sidekick adjacent, and then you get to move 6 because, you probably kill them or win the combat at the very least with a 6. You maneuver over or move over with the effect on Skirmish, and then you attack with something like Super Strength 5, which would then be a 7. Then here we have Terrifying Roar. This goes great with your ability, right? Fighters can't leave their space for the rest of their turn, so characters like Bruce Lee or characters with other skirmishes, stuff like that, they can't run away after they attack you, and you can just hit them big on your next turn. So that's 3 copies of that and potential. I mean, that's an essential card to get your effect off. That's why it's in the deck, and that's how you should definitely use it. And keep one as a threat too, because they might not want to NX you, but they will NX you and do their ability or effects that move them away if they know that all 3 of these are in your discard. Insight of the Ancients. It's not a very reliable card. A 3 is just a 3. It's nothing super special. And if you won the combat, which maybe. I wouldn't push for it, but maybe you win the combat. You get to return a random card. You don't even get to choose, but a random card in your discard pile to your hand. Okay, so I wouldn't try to push and force this. Just if it happens, it happens. That's great. If not, okay, sure. Then here we have Like a Flash of Golden Light. You can use it with some schemes that we're going to talk about here because it becomes a 4 if he shares no zones with the space he started in this turn. So again, another thing to deal with and think about positioning. After combat, you get to move up to 5 spaces. That's the insane part about this card. So it's kind of a hit and run. If you're going for a fatigue game, which he definitely can, he can, get away with that card. And that's how it should be used, I think. Sight Beyond Sight. The card isn't great, but at least you can get some knowledge, right, of their deck. So you get to look at the top 3 cards of their deck, and you're putting them back in any order. Usually it's not going to matter that much unless you're pressuring and you want to put them in a certain order, right, so that they can't draw defenses, and you can keep that pressure up or something of that nature. Ooh, this defense. He laughs at your feebleness. A 5-value defense is crazy, and that you can recursion this as well with Alpine or potentially the random, right? And there's 2 copies already. A 5. That's insane. And another great defense we see, a 3-value, cancel all effects on your opponent's card. So it's a feint. There's 2 copies, but again, you can recursion this. And if you do, you're able to use it to cancel. Arrive just in time is placing bat in any space. Now that just seems like, okay, that's pretty simple. I can just place them in any space. Keeping in mind, though, your ability for +2, and this is a pass for fatigue, and there's 2 copies, and you can recursion it. It's a runaway scheme if you're just trying to get away from them and make them exhaust, which, they're more likely to exhaust than you in most matchups because of Golden Bat's fatigue game. But placing Golden Bat in any space, you could go to the other side of the board. They have to boost over to you to even, get to center map to get to you. Then they get to you, you boost to the other side, or not boost, but use this again, another one of these to get to the other side and play that game. You do that a couple times during a match and recursion it and do it even more. And then in conjunction with this, I mean, come on. Alpine Fortress. To me, this is like the greatest card in the game. If not the greatest, it's definitely one of the top schemes for sure. If not the greatest scheme, I would venture to say greatest card in the game. Now with just the single hero Golden Bat, maybe not as much, but still an amazing card. You get to choose a card in your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. So if you're putting it in your deck as opposed to your hand, you're not going to fatigue as fast. You are drawing 2 cards though. Move Golden Bat up to 4 spaces, but you get to choose the card. You could choose Arrive just in time. You could choose extra attacks, right, to be that threat. You could choose extra defense or more feints if you're going up against somebody like Bruce Lee or Sinbad. It's just insane, the Alpine Fortress card. So depending on the matchup, depending who you're playing against, the map, everything in play, you need to choose your cards wisely. I can't tell you exactly what to choose, but depending on the matchup, you should be able to figure it out and know, okay, I'm going for fatigue in this game, so I need more Arrive just in time. Or I'm about to close out the game, I need some big, strong attacks. Go ahead and grab some big, strong attacks. It just depends on that. So in conclusion here, Golden Bat forces opponents to come to him. And that is good for his ability. He forces them because of his schemes, and he has ways to get in as well. If he wants to push the attack, right, you can do that. Another thing is, if your opponent is pressuring you, it will be your downfall. Because if you are going to lose the match, it's probably through somebody pressuring you. I played a game where I was Spider-Man, who is worse than Arthur, I think. Or at least on the same level as Arthur. He's not a great character, right? We all know that. And what happened was I almost won with Spider-Man because of the pressure that I could put on Bat, and he had that knowledge of what was coming as well. Spider-Man did. I didn't win, but it was close. And I think with such a low-tier character and to such a good character like Golden Bat, which Golden Bat is a good character, I think pressure is his downfall. Even though you have the +2, say somebody's pressuring you, and this is what your hand looks like, right? Let's say your hand looks like this. Okay, you got some decent cards. They pressure you. If they're pressuring you, you got to defend eventually. Even though you have a nice health pool, you got to defend eventually. And if you are attacking because they're close and you don't have stuff to defend with because they're pressuring you so hard, you're gonna take some undefended hits. Even with a 18 health pool, taking undefended hits, especially against someone like Spider-Man, where you can do a 6 and +1 to that 6. Is not going to be fun for Golden Bat, right? You're going to be on the back foot, and you're going to be stressing out in that situation. So for Golden Bat, against these characters that are pressuring you, what I recommend is recursioning those defense every time, and not attack and not recursioning your attacks, because you're going to have to take undefended hits because you won't have cards to defend. So that would be your only downfall. He is a very good character, and even with that slight downfall, I wouldn't even say it's that much of a downfall. Even with that, you still should be sitting pretty. He doesn't have much to deal with sidekicks that are getting in the way. If they're body blocking with like multi-sidekicks, he can get in with stuff, but if they're positioning well, he can't, and that's not good. So you need to be able to deal with that. And like I said, again, with a punch to strike the earth is probably your best bet to deal with those sidekicks. Anyway, that is Golden Bat. I hope that helps you understand him and be able to play him just a little bit better in your games.